Greg Nutt, and welcome to the American Landscape. On this adventure on the American Landscape, I'm going to be going to Castle Dome City Ghost Town and Museum. Now, it's just 41 miles from Yuma, Arizona, 56 miles from Quartzsite, Arizona, and 78 miles from Blythe, California. Hi, Alan.
Hi, Alan.
I'm Greg. How you doing?
Nice to meet you, Greg.
Well, thank you for having us out here.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
What's the official name of the
Castle Dome City.
Castle Dome City. Awesome. So what are we going to be seeing today?
We're going to see a remnant town that stood larger than Yuma in 1878.
So you must have something, or this ground has something that was really important.
They had silver, high-grade silver.
High-grade silver. Wow. And then now, was that eventually cut off by the government? Was there a time when the government says no more silver? Or
Well, there was just during the war times.
Like during World War II?
World War I and World War II.
And both wars.
Because in World War II, it was against the law of mine for precious metals.
Oh, interesting.
You had to be doing something essential for the war effort.
I got it. Did this city also have like typical the brothels, gambling halls, schools, churches?
5 saloons within a quarter mile of here. And there was another one over at the Hall of Mine, so there was at least 6.
How long did the city stretch, did you say?
From 1870s to...
I mean, like mile-wise?
It was 2 miles.
2 miles long. One street, or?
No, it was actually the whole district's 7 miles. And then we have 2 miles left.
And just to give people an orientation of where you are, are you in the middle between like Quartzsite and Yuma?
Kind of.
Kind of?
More closer to Yuma.
And that's, what highway was it?
95.
95. And what's your hours, and what would you normally ask for an admission fee?
Our hours are 10 to 5 every day until summer. Mm-hmm. And then summer, you better make a reservation.
Oh, what? You're real busy, huh?
Well, yeah. Summer, you need to make a reservation because it's so hot.
Oh, I got you.
And it's like weekends are pretty good in the summer.
And so what would people prepare for with heat out here in the summer?
In the summer, you better have a lot of water. Because if you do break down, people have died out here.
Really?
In the summer. I mean, they go up past here and they get stuck. And if they get stuck and they're elderly and even if you're young, people have not made it 10 miles, young people.
Wow, that's amazing. And then is there a donation fee?
That's $15 a person to go in. And then the Florescent Hall Mine Tour is $75, which includes the town. Now you can see there's Castle Dome.
That peak out there's Castle Dome?
Yeah, and that's a volcanic core. And so that's a lava dome. It's rised up after the explosion.
Ah, interesting.
And it blew about 4,000 years ago. So we still have geothermal water here.
Wow. Now, that one there, is that also part of?
That's a volcanic core too, thumb.
That's cool. I never really thought of, why those were shaped like that and up like that.
And so what this did is it pushed the ore up into the earth through the fault zone, through seismic and volcanic action.
Oh, wow.
And then it came up, and the ore veins were pretty huge here, up to 16 feet thick, averaging 100 ounces, $100 a ton in 1870s, which was good money.
So some guys make some really good money here.
Now, you see the rivers here, Colorado River, 20 miles due west.
Okay.
And then what they did here is they would wagon train the stuff out and they put it on river boats. And the river boats would go down the Colorado up to San Francisco. So San Francisco is the hardware store. And that's why we happen to have the oldest Levi's in the world here.
Seriously?
Yes, in the 1890s, and then they're authenticated by Levi Strauss.
That is really cool. Would never think of these things that you find like that.
And see, that's because that's the hardware store.
Yeah.
San Francisco, up the river through Port Isabella, Mexico, up the Colorado River, and then there was a town on the river of 1,000 people. And as late as 1909, they had a baseball field, post office, all to support Castle Dome City. And then they built the largest wagons ever in the world here.
To carry that load?
Yeah, they built 10 of them, and they were bigger than Death Valley's Borax.
I'm familiar with those. Those are very large.
And they had 7-foot hind wheels, 5.5-inch rims, an inch thick, 1.25 inch thick, solid steel axles.
And what kind of a team pulled that?
40. So here's a cabin, 1890.
So that's
Adam's cabin. Adam had a mine group here.
And this is authentic, not recreated?
Yeah, this is an authentic. This is his cabin.
Actually, it kind of looks like Reagan sitting in there.
Yeah. Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Now you'll never get that out of your mind. So.
No, that's right. Are you Reagan?
So what year, roughly, would this?
Turn of the century.
Turn of the century.
1900s. Early.
And this was all his, and he's got his stove, everything in here?
Yeah. It's one of the last survivor cabins. It's kind of neat.
Oh, so how much out here is original versus possible recreation or salvage from somewhere else?
What happened here is the Fish and Wildlife Refuge was going to get rid of everything. And I went in there and they said, you got 2 weeks. But 2 weeks turned into 2 years.
Oh.
And so we were able to go out and salvage everything we could out here.
And then you just like pulled it in into...
Pulled it in some and saved it and moved the heavy stuff as well. I'll show you that we moved a well driller that weighs 20 tons.
Oh.
A lot of stuff has remained here. We went underground and found everything.
Really?
We found notes, papers, clothing, drill steel, dynamite spoons, ore cars, hand tools, picks, shovels, ore carts, all underground.
That is really cool. Now, was there a cemetery out here?
Yeah, there was, and there is.
Is it still existing?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Any paranormal activity out
Well,
there?
we do have, in the wall, there's an image of a miner. It's kind of interesting. And the fluorescent wall, you might be able to
Oh,
get
I
that
definitely want to see that.
And then there's, Castle Dome has some mysteries. Oh, at the graveyard, there's a headless grave. We weren't sure it was a graveyard at first because it was in just such disrepair. So we exhumed one to see what it was. And it turned out to be a grave, and his head never went in the ground. So
Wow.
his skeleton was there, and they buried him about this deep, 2.5 feet, 3 feet.
Yeah.
And then they covered him over with rocks. And his head was removed before it went in the grave. We thought, was it a horrific mining accident? Superstition? In 1873, they said there's no safety for life, limb, or property in the Castle Dome mining district because of the enormities committed therein. And the enormities were, if the Indians found you here, they killed you. Why? Because the Spanish enslaved the Indians earlier right here. And what they did is they made them pack the ore from here to the Gila River, 20 miles south. Wow. And so after they enslaved them, they finally got pretty stout and revolted and killed all the Spanish right here.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Free yourself.
Yeah, they freed themselves. And we do have two Spanish artifacts. We have stirrups
Oh,
from the conquistadors.
probably silver.
No, they're brass.
They're brass, really. I would have
And
thought they had silver.
they were the old saddle stirrups. They're kind of ornate. They look like shoes, slip-on shoes, sort of.
Oh.
You slip your feet in the stirrup, but
Okay.
they were brass.
Not the typical Western one you think
No,
of.
no, they're more like
hook on.
they look like a shoe, kind of,
Oh, that's interesting.
with a brass bottom. And they're worn from dragging the saddle around for years.
Oh, okay.
And they're late 1600s. Well, Castle Dome Mining and Smelting Company ended up owning everything here in the 1870s. And they had $3 million bond, which is pretty big for the 1870s.
Yeah.
And they had, all the ore went from here to the Shelby smelter. Okay, the Shelby smelter was closed because they ran out of ore in California. And so this mine right here in this mining district kept the Shelby exclusively operating for over 30 to 40 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so high-grade rich ore. And when you go to the fluorescent mine, when he takes you over there, you'll see a vein it was silver gleaned that was about 10 to 12 feet thick. And it was so concentrated that all these fluorescent minerals came up with it. So we'll go, this is what we call the main museum. This is basically the main museum. And there's a picture of the largest wagons I was telling you that.
Oh, wow.
Little midgets.
That is, those are probably average, what, 5.5 foot, 6 foot guys maybe?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
And it's the kind of stuff we find underground, all the powder boxes and the...
Now, how far underground?
up to 750 vertical.
Wow.
And so when you go underground, they're going to take you 600 feet.
Oh, that's amazing.
Here's a placer nugget. 300 pounds. High-grade silver ore. As you can see, it's pretty heavy now.
See, I probably don't want to do that, kill myself. Now, of course, I'm no geologist or miner. I do see some of the sparkly silver.
Well, this whole thing is sparkly. It's just oxidized.
Oh, okay. So if I went down in the mine in the 1800s, this whole chunk would have been very sparkly silvery? Or would it
This was
oxidize
probably
also?
oxidized because it got exposed to the sun at some point in its history.
Okay.
That's the largest placer nugget that's come out of here that I know of.
What do you think that would be worth, like in today's dollars, if someone
50.
refined it? $50?
50,000.
Oh, Wrenches, can we get this in the back of our car on the way out?
If some guy's carrying that out, I don't know if I'm going to mess with him.
Yeah. Wow. Now that looks like a typical miner statue you see everywhere. What's that
Yeah,
about?
but you know what that's made out of? What do you know what ironwood is?
No.
Ironwood is this tree right here. See that tree behind the fence?
Uh-huh.
So that tree's been dead 1,000 years.
What?
To get this statue right here. This is a masterpiece. I mean, people
Wow.
don't realize this is a natural color of the wood.
And then, now is this old?
No,
This is a recent piece.
but he's got the 1890 Levi's, the Colt. If we go in here, I'll show you the Levi's.
Those are original Levi's from the...
Authenticated by Levi Strauss.
That's amazing.
You notice they have-
now are they 501s or
201s.
201s?
They are.
Seriously,
That's
201.
201s. That's kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You don't think of that, do you?
No. That's amazing.
Before 501s.
Before the 501. So they're all buttoned up though?
No belt loops, you notice that? Before 1900, that's how you date them. They didn't have belt loops.
Oh, wow.
And they had the button fly, they had the crotch rivet.
Wow. No bell bottoms or anything fancy like that?
No, they only had one back pocket.
One back pocket. Did they have that little tiny pocket like we have now?
Yeah, they do. Right there, you can see it on the safety pin.
What was this one? Does anybody know what this
Coin
was
pocket.
For? Coin pocket. Okay, so it is a coin pocket. Okay, it's not for your iPod.
Now, see, they had the crotch rivet. And about 1900, an executive was at a campfire, and he got himself burned.
A little too close to the fire.
He said, this isn't a good place for a rivet. So they removed it. Now, see, they had these donut buttons.
Okay.
Levi Strauss, they called them, because they look like a donut. Mm-hmm. And then there's the logo on these pants. They have the horses, can't rip them apart. That's how strong they are.
Oh, wow.
Now, see, first Levi's came out with white canvas, but nobody's ever found a pair of white canvas. Oh. Made from tents in the 1860s in California.
So that'd be quite a find if you ever...
Oh, they'd be worth $1 million probably.
Wow.
But the oldest ones right here.
Anywhere.
There's a few pairs in this vintage.
So this is what we're going into?
This is the cantina.
Geez. I thought somebody was in here at first.
Carmelita's cantina. Well, see, this guy represents a true individual.
This guy here?
He represents Juan Lego.
Okay.
And see, in 1901, Juan Lego was selling alcohol and guns to the Indians. And this is how Castle Dome Justice worked. So they didn't like him doing that. And they'd warned him, you got to stop doing this or you're going to be finished. And he never got finished, but he got finished.
Okay.
So what he did is, he liked this bar girl. They set it up. So what they're going to do, this is late for gunplay, 1901. So what happens is they bring a guy in from Tucson, and they just called him Two Guns.
That's him down there?
That's him down there.
Okay.
And so Two Guns meets Juan's prostitute friend. But see, Juan's extremely jealous of her. Wants her affections and attention. He's in love with her. And now she's not so much. She doesn't really care about him. He's just
Poor Juan.
Yeah, poor Juan. But so this guy, two Guns, meets the prostitute and says, "Look, I got a plan. How much you want?" He says, "I'm going to come into town, and then I want you to come start talking to me, and we're going to get Juan jealous. And Juan's going to get furiously jealous of him, and then he's going to call me out in the street. And this is how we're going to take care of Juan." So this guy's got Two Guns. Who's Two Guns? We don't know who Two Guns is. But you don't wear two guns in the West when you're playing around, because somebody's going to challenge you. Mm-hmm. And if you're playing around, you're done. No bluff with Two Guns. So Two Guns comes into town, sets it up. She starts talking to him. Juan says, "Step out in the street." New Year's Day, 1901. Juan moves his finger. He's got a bullet in the heart. The guy was quick. He wasn't play. That's how they took care of Juan Lego, and that's the justice of Castle Dome.
Nice. That's nice.
Kind of an interactive museum, huh?
Was there a known preacher of the day in here?
Circuit rider.
Sir, oh, okay. That makes sense. That's a great sound. An organ.
Pipe organ.
So that's kind of a sign of affluence and wealth in a town, isn't it? To have their own organ?
Well, if you build the largest wagon in the world, you're no wimps. You know what I mean? It's like building the fastest race car today.
Yeah.
What makes this place special to me is it sits in its original location unchanged. There's no highway here. And the road is pretty good, but it gives you some sense of what, if you have a paved road to everywhere, it does change things.
It does. I had the feeling of how far out this really was. And when you look around still, there's not much out there.
No, it's it. This is it. There's Castle Dome, and then there's Castle Dome City and Castle Dome Mountain, and then there's the desert. And there's 1 million acres out here with nothing.
It's amazing.
So when you get up on the hill and you see little Castle Dome City, it's kind of neat, though, to see you're up on the hill and it looks like you're coming into Dodge City or something, because there's all the buildings sitting there.
This is starting to look like something I've seen on Deadwood. So is that another bar, or?
That's the where you sign in.
Okay.
Get your reservation for the night.
Okay, and then it was just like a sitting area. Lobby. Nice.
Tables. Could throw some food down, go gambling.
Nice. And then was gambling always like in the back room, or would it also have been out here?
Both.
Both.
It could be card games going on.
Wow. Very nice.
The tin ceilings are beautiful, aren't they?
They are. They are very nice. So we know was there a proprietor that's known to have run this?
No, there's a lot of different.
Changed hands.
Miller. and Company, Castle Dome Mining and Smelting.
Oh, so they would have, like this, like a company store, company.
Well, and originally. Well, should we go upstairs?
Oh, sure. So is this a typical bedroom?
Yeah, nice, huh?
Nice. Spacious. Much more spacious than I would have thought. Now, is this carpet?
Yeah, it's the
That's original?
old school carpet, huh?
I'm a broken record here, but it's like, wow, I'm amazed because it's in such good condition.
High back oak beds.
And the van?
Yeah. All the doilies and the pillowcases. And
That's amazing.
come on out here. You want to see something nice. Watch your step.
Oh, wow. I bet this is beautiful at night. I mean, it's beautiful now, but... So that's actual Castle Dome,
Now, isn't
right
this
there.
nice when you get a little height, all of a sudden it changes everything.
It sure does. So the name comes from that peak,
Yep.
but the mine is below us.
Yes.
Right? I mean, there could be ore out there somewhere.
Well, there is ore left. Lots of ore. Wow. They estimate into cubic tons.
Wow. Is it just too expensive to do it?
No smelters left.
So this is a much, much bigger place than I thought now. It's just getting bigger and bigger every time I
Now, if
see
we
it.
see over here, we go across the road, and this section's a mile. It's a mile long in here, or 3/4 of a mile strip of buildings.
We're on our way out to the Hull Mine with Ken. Located on the road to the Hull Mine is the infamous Broken Blade Saloon, Undertaker, and the Delmonica Cookhouse. But we're going straight to the Hull Mine, which is a natural wonder fluorescent mineral wall. It's really a kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and I can't wait to see it.
So this is the entrance to the mine that the scam investors built, and the one we're going to go down into. You know what this is here?
I'm guessing a portable toilet.
Okay, that's exactly what it was. You see what it's on? It's
Cha-ching.
on rails. So you ever heard the expression, "Don't yank my chain"?
Yes.
They would get the rookies up there doing their duty and then have a little wedge behind one of the wheels. And everything's on a slope in the mine, and then yank the chain. And there goes the rookie.
That's funny and disgusting all at the same time.
It is.
Being deep down in this mine is really interesting. It's not often a person gets to go down in a historic mine like this. In addition to the portable toilet, there's all kinds of things to see down here, including a hideout for desperados. But what we're really here to see is this fluorescent wall.
This is our viewing area. Let's fire it up here.
Oh, wow.
I'll wait till it gets warmed up.
How long do you typically keep a tour down here? How long do they get
As long
to?
as they want.
Oh, nice.
I mean, this is, an average tour is probably to do everything an hour and a half or so.
Now we're going to go see the rest of the walking tour in this area. Then we'll probably have to get in our car and go down the road for another walking tour. There is just a plethora of things to see around here. I'm at the western extent of the Castle Dome Mine, a ghost town. You can see behind me how far away the original tour that we did with Alan. This is the walking tour. The graveyard is here, a few buildings, a few open mines, so you got to be careful around here. But this is one of the best ghost town experiences I've ever had, and I've been to quite a few, and there's so much original stuff here that you don't find in a lot of the ghost towns that are full of reproductions. Well worth the trip, a little bit outside of Yuma, Arizona. Come on by and take a look. I went and got my blooper roll.